Hey, it's me again. And the last time I talked to you about this franchise, I spoke on what I believe to be the reason why Batman Arkham Asylum worked so well for its time. I touched on the relationship between Batman and Joker. I referred to it as the good old days before either one of those characters could understand just how much of a negative effect their toxic relationship had on Gotham and the rest of the inmates on Arkham Island. Or maybe perhaps they just didn't understand. They just simply didn't care. Because as long as they are together, no matter the chaos that ensues, Joker always gets his laugh, and Batman always fulfills his vengeful nature. I didn't really talk about it in the end of my last video, so I want to re-emphasize it here, because what I'm about to tell you is the driving force for the game's sequel and today's video topic, Batman Arkham City. Batman is a spirit of vengeance. For lack of a better term, he gets off on hunting down criminals and throwing them in prison because it's what gives Bruce Wayne's life purpose. In Arkham Asylum, after what could have been arguably the longest and strangest night of his career, we see this.
Shame about your car. Can I give you a ride?
Thanks, Jim, but I have one on the way.
Get some rest. You deserve it.
Stay safe, Jim.
Batman continues to hunt, even after everything he's been through in Arkham. Even with a broken arm, or at the very least dislocated shoulder, he perseveres, because the Bat of Gotham doesn't quit. Why should he? It's the same as asking Joker to quit, right? This dynamic is dialed up to 11 in Arkham City, where once again the two rivals meet face to face and focus is put on the repercussions of their actions. Set 1 year after the events of the previous game, Arkham City follows Bruce Wayne as he speaks out on the potential dangers of letting criminals roam free in Arkham City. Much to our surprise, Tiger security guards enter the scene and arrest Bruce, leading to our introduction into Hugo Strange, the warden, if you will, of Arkham City. Once Bruce is let out of captivity, he's released into the crime-infested streets and quickly makes his way up to the rooftops to call in his Batsuit. From this moment forward, we follow Batman as he roams free throughout Arkham City, learning what Hugo Strange's true intentions are, who he's working for, while also recountering some old villains and some new ones too. The overall story isn't something I want to talk about in this video, but in order to dive into the purpose between the evolution of the relationship between Batman and Joker, I do have to touch upon bigger plot details, so this is your spoiler warning. Our introduction to his character in this game is actually in the form of a mystery. He takes a shot at Selina Kyle, Catwoman, and then all we hear is his voice as he taunts Batman and coughs. When we get to the church, Harley Quinn reveals that he's sick and that they're looking for doctors to help determine why. And we don't actually meet him until we make our way to the top of the church. There we find Joker hidden in the shadows of a television screen, further building the anticipation to see him in the flesh once more. From this point on, we know something is clearly wrong. Joker is never the kind of person to hide from his chaos. He thrives in it, he lives for it. And that, combined with his phlegm-filled cough, immediately puts one thought into mind. The Joker is dying, and sure enough, when we finally meet face to face, we get this.
It was all a lie. There's nothing wrong with you.
Nice of you to say, but you of all people should know there's plenty wrong with me. Take my blood, for example. I wish somebody would. This stuff is killing me.
He's sick, dying from the poisonous Titan formula he injected into himself at the end of the previous game. And in typical Joker fashion, he ropes you into developing a cure because if he dies, he'll be taking the love of his life with him. You, the player, Batman. Batman is poisoned too now. and his time is limited. The cure stalls him on his journey to stopping Hugo Strange, and as a result of it, he's kept away from the Joker as he formulates his final evil plan. His final dance under the pale moonlight. His final chance at carrying on that relationship. If he goes down, he's taking the Batman with him. But if Batman develops a cure in time, then he gets to live on in that relationship forever. Remember what I said in my last video about how the Joker's fear is being alone and forgotten? This comes back to bite him here. By the end of the game, not only has he successfully pulled off his plan, not only has he kept their relationship toxicity at an all-time high, but he also undoes the tangled cord that is in the relationship with the Dark Knight. After everything the two have been through, it all comes down to one moment. Batman and the cure. Forget about Mr. Freeze. Forget about Hugo Strange. Forget about Harvey Dent and the Penguin. Just focus on this moment. Not surprisingly enough, Batman only takes a small dose of the cure, leaving half the vial for the Joker. However, he ultimately causes his own demise by refusing to give up on their rivalry. Batman is stabbed, and as a result of this, he drops the vial and destroys the remaining cure, all while Joker teases Batman about whether or not he should have spared it. And after all that, we get this.
Are you happy now?
Do you want to know something funny? Even after everything you've done, I would have saved you.
You know, that actually is pretty funny.
So that's it. The killing joke, literally. The Joker is dead, but more importantly, our never-ending toxic relationship reaches its end. Despite everything the Joker has done throughout their adventures together, all the trauma and pain their rivalry has caused to so many people around them, and all of Gotham, Batman admits he still would have chosen to save Joker. This, to me, symbolized that Batman wasn't ready to give up on their relationship, but all good things must come to an end. If Batman Arkham Asylum was the representation of the glory days, the lovey-dovey stages of their relationship, then Arkham City is the representation of that relationship hitting a dead end. A breakup, if you will. What is love without a little crazy? What is the purpose of Batman without the Joker? That's something that Batman and the rest of the Gotham will have to face going forward. And what makes this sudden end more impactful are the implications of this greater world, but also the memories of what was. If you were to think about it, Batman and Joker have been in this relationship for a very long time. And throughout that time, Batman has lost so much because of the Joker. He lost Jason Todd, Barbara Gordon was paralyzed, Dick Grayson left him. There were countless tragedies and deaths across Gotham and Arkham Island, all because Batman refused to kill the Joker. He refused to give up on their relationship. Is his code a weakness, or does it make Batman who he is? Does it prevent a victim of trauma from becoming no better than the people he puts in prison? Or does it allow that victim to continue to be victimized by another, more sick and twisted individual? The greatest ideology to come out of a story like Batman is comparing and debating how effective the vigilante can be for the others around him. It's a deciding factor on the result of his relationships with villains like the Joker. If Batman refuses to kill Joker, then the relationship continues. However, who knows how many lives will get ruined as a result of it. If Batman does kill Joker, directly or indirectly, with intention or by accident, then the relationship dies, but the rest of the world doesn't need to suffer like they once did. It's not selfishness versus selflessness, but there is a similar comparison here between the franchise and the actual Killing Joke comic. In my last video, I mentioned Joker's final joke, the significance of the punchline, and its relation to their ever-going rivalry. But what does that mean when looking at the end of their relationship? In simple terms, who tried crossing the gap, and who was the one who turned the light off? I believe that the Joker was the inmate who was afraid of crossing that gap, afraid of trusting someone else with his life, afraid of allowing himself to be helped. I also think Joker was the one who turned the light off. His mentality revolves around one constant thought: if he remains an inmate, then the other man remains an inmate all the same, despite having crossed the gap already. Their bond and care for one another, their friendship, if you will, prevents either one of the two from feeling fear of helping one another, and the fear of freedom. Batman is constantly letting Joker live because he knows deep down that the only way to help the people of Gotham, the only way to keep them safe, is by helping Joker cross that gap, or by turning the light off when he's halfway across. He will never allow himself to be the one to press that button on the flashlight, so when Joker does it for him, it represents a breaking point in the relationship, because the Joker would rather be a dead man than a free man. It's almost kind of sad in a way, to think that a person, a human being, no matter how monstrous they may seem or act, knowingly feels empty enough to choose death over rehabilitation. His final plea, the final hope Joker has in his dying moments before he falls to his death between the gaps of the rooftops, is the hope that his inmate buddy, Batman, will too share his feeling of emptiness. Joker wanted nothing more than to keep the relationship in the glory days, to keep it youthful and everlasting, but once he's forced into a corner, he's on the verge of death at his own fault, and that relationship is forced to mature and for each of them to grow apart. When thinking about a breakup such as this one, we wonder just how it might affect Batman going forward. How will he move on from this one? How does this affect him? We get a glimpse of this answer in the Harley Quinn's Revenge DLC, which takes place about a month after the Joker's death. Batman is captured after returning to Arkham City to rescue kidnapped police officers from Harley Quinn. We follow both Batman and his new ward, Tim Drake's Robin, as they return to the steel mill to rescue the cops and deal with Harley. What's interesting about this story expansion is to see just how badly Joker's death has affected Batman. He's quieter than usual, mean, as if he's still processing. It appears as though the Joker's death has affected him much more than we could have thought, and by the DLC's ending, when Robin is believed to be dead, this happens.
Where's Robin? I thought he was with you.
It hurts, don't it?
What have you done?
Now you know how it feels.
So, did you miss me?
Where are the cops?
They're safe.
I'm done here.
Harley almost manages to follow in the Joker's footsteps, thinking she's killed the Boy Wonder just as her love did to Jason Todd. And when he's revealed to be alive, Batman leaves. He's more distant than ever, towards the Commissioner and towards Robin. This is because in this moment, Tim Drake reminds Batman of his greatest loss to the hands of Joker. Batman can't escape the memories, the pain Joker brings upon him. The new Robin is just a reminder to Batman that the previous one died at the hands of the Joker. Harley believing she killed Tim is a reminder of what the Joker did to the previous Robin. The memories echo through time, the burning building, the thought of a dead Robin, and the clown laughing maniacally behind. It's all keeping Batman on edge, even though the Joker's gone. All because Batman refuses to move on. He lets the emptiness control him, fuel his anger, and turn him more distant towards the people he cares for. If the Joker's death means anything to Batman, then at the very least, Joker would have died knowing that without him, Batman's life would be miserable forever. And he was right. Harley Quinn's revenge showed us that Batman has not recovered and that he feels empty, but not because the Joker is gone, because the Joker lives on through the memories. That was his killing joke. I guess the saddest part of all is knowing that Joker's death does mean nothing to Batman, but Joker living, continuing to torture him with all the painful memories that he gave him. That's what keeps this relationship from truly ending. Batman and the Joker may have split up, but Batman has not forgotten, nor has he moved on from Joker. And that hold Joker has over him, it makes Batman the one holding on. It makes Batman the inmate on the other side, refusing to give up on his friend who has already decided he is not crossing that beam of light. It makes Batman the one with the flashlight.
You have one missed call. Call received 3 hours ago.
Only you can make this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do, and fill my heart with love for only you. Only you can make this change in me, for it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. Only you can make this change in me, for it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only